Alright, a wonderful good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is Grixis time, and we've got some spice going on again. So, in comparison to last time, I switched out our discard magic and replaced it with Cremate, which lets you exile target card from graveyard and then you draw a card. The problem with Cremate is that pre-boarded graveyard hate really hits us now, because you have to have a target for Cremate, otherwise you can't draw a card, and therefore that might prove problematic. On the other hand though, we have an easy cantrip that lets us exile phoenixes, etc, etc, and therefore is one of the few main deckable cards, main board cards in Grixis colors that really helps us in that regard. The other one would of course be Kalitas, but that would be a little bit too much. Post board then, against Tron, etc., I put in Goblin Rebel Master into the sideboard to have a faster clock, because last time that was really horrific how we got caught by Ermakul both games. And yeah, that's not. One could also argue to just replace Serum Visions with Cremate, but I see Cremate as a utility card here and not really as a pure cantrip, and I don't want to be stuck on lands, and the scry is just too important. So we'll test it out in this form first, and then we'll see where it gets us. So let's join a competitive league here. I haven't played since the last time I uploaded something, therefore you're as up to date as can be. Let's join a game and see what we can do here against Jason. Alright, we got to Cremates, which, you know, can also target our graveyard, so we definitely have targets. Now let's see if we can. I was actually using the wrong keys on my keyboard here. Well, that is a bummer. Apparently we're playing against Grixis control. In the mirror. So let's have a look at our sideboard here already. Fulminated Mage is going to be good. Spell Pierce is going to be good. Spreading Seas could prove good as well. And then I'm going to bring in Scorpion God, because that should also be alright. So we're fetching for black. As long as we're not in dire need of anything specific, I'll just leave the Cremates up, because there could always be like hidden thought scouring. It might not be on our specific list. Could be, of course. Could also just be blue-black. Nobody knows. Interesting. It's Faeries. Well, then our graveyard hate is completely and utterly not useful. And also Nimble becomes slightly worse. Alright, let's go ahead here, cremate a little bit. Sideboard plan doesn't change a whole lot though. Might be bringing in Collective Brutality as well. I will cremate again. Just because I don't think there's a whole lot, like except maybe for Snapcaster Mage, that we would want to get here. We are going to counter this. Maybe we'll draw a bolt. That's probably going to be it. Oh. So he's gonna take the lightning bolt because that's the only non-redundant piece here. I'm gonna go after his spell stutter sprite in response. If he wants to save it, that's fine. At some point, cremate's probably still gonna be good. Just to get rid of a snapcaster target, which I would assume. All right, so that's your best play. It could have been worse. Lightning bolt is a fine pickup here. And nimble assertion. Colgan's command is also pretty alright. So I guess he's gonna be a little more careful now with the things he's doing with Field of Ruin. So he does know that we have a counter squall in hand. And it will prove hard for him to go with Spellscutter Stride here. Could activate the Mood of Old, but then you would still have to play 2. So I think we could play it now, but the only removal he probably has is a failed push, and therefore I'm not gonna go after him here with Nimble. Rather wait for him to do something. Because again, well, there's another field. Gonna wait one more turn. Do I want to act on his end step? That's weird. Why would he be running into our open Nimble deliberately? I would also assume that he does have Jace, the Mind Sculptor. If not in hand, then at least in his deck. We're also drawing quite more cards than he does. And our... Okay, what is that? So this is probably gonna be Jace. So I'm gonna protect my hand here. And if he's gonna play Jace, Kalitas. Well, that puts us in a little bit of a pickle here. I think we're gonna return and draw a card for now in order to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go Colligan's commands, probably cannot play Jace otherwise. He's just gonna kill it as well. K command and bold will not leave us with the cryptics, so if it gets countered, then we do have a problem. So we're just generating a little bit of extra value here until we get to the point where we can deal with Kalitas, which should not be too far off because we still have 4 removal spells that actually hit him, despite the fact that fail push is going to be a little bit of a stretch. So if we draw another, if we were to draw another fetch land, we'll not crack it until we draw a fail push as well. Bold Snap Bold is also not going to leave us with additional mana sources for Cryptic Command. I think it was a good call to not play Jace here. So he apparently has 3 good cards in hand. Otherwise, okay, our opponent Jason has disconnected. Kalitas actually proves to be a problem here. Yes, we still have cryptics to bounce him for a while. And if that doesn't work out, then we're not gonna die anytime soon, but would definitely like to see it terminate here sooner than later. But I'll pause here until our opponent comes back, and then we'll rejoin the game here. Alright, that actually didn't take as long as I expected. Discard is Spellstutter Sprite, which is good because our Lightning Bolt could have been good otherwise. So there's our polluted delta. So we do have counter. A bounce counter. So I think that's what we're going to do as well in his upkeep. Gonna try to bounce the Kalitas. And hope that he does not have 2 remaining counter spells in his hand. And if he did, then we hope those 2 counter spells to be cryptic commands. I actually don't know if they're playing counter spells aside from. Let's have a look. Alright, here we are with probably one of the closest to their lists. And I don't think they have a lot of counter spells going on. So in his upkeep, we're gonna bounce again, bounce draw. And just to make sure, in case we draw another Lightning Bolt, we are going to do it this way. So definitely another cryptic commands. Phew. I was like, okay, did we discard it? So we're going to counter draw here as well, and just hope that he's playing the list that everybody else is playing, and actually does not have. All right. So now probably the best play is just to attack again with the Mutavault. Yeah, which is absolutely fine, because now that we know that he does not have another removal spell, and we do also have so let's see, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So if we were to snap and then if we were to counter that one, we would still have 2 bolts to kill him. So I think I'm going to go with that option, because only a Spellstutter Sprite would be good enough. And so I think we might be able to counter draw here. Counter draw. That was more of a hustle than I would want it to be, but in the end we didn't actually lose a lot of card advantage here, and also not a lot of tempo. Opponent's pretty aggressive with the Mutavaults and stuff. Also, of course, Nimble Obstructions can counter Spellstutter Sprite's trigger, and therefore that is fine as well. We're gonna attack first, so I think that he does, or I expect him to have a removal spell. And he's just passing the turn, which is quite interesting. Does he have a second Kalitas? Oh my goodness. Alright, this makes it a little harder because we do not have what it takes here, but we do have Fatal Push and also 2 Lightning Bolts, so I think I'm gonna let this resolve. And then we're gonna go, so Fatal Push is still gonna hit the Mutavault if we really want to, and usually, like, because this gets exiled, it should usually trigger the Revolt on Fatal Push, but on Moto it somehow doesn't, and therefore we're going with the more unintuitive line here, killing the Kalitas this way. Yep. Very well, very well. So, Fulminator Mage is alright. It's not super good, but apparently our opponent does have a lot of black sources that he needs. 4 Inquisition, 4 Bitter Blossom. From the sideboard, probably only bringing in Thalia and Negate, maybe Spellbomb. So we could be bringing in Kalitas by ourselves, because it probably doesn't have actually good. Oh well, Lilianas. Yeah, Lilianas are pretty good. Definitely Scorpion God, because he cannot handle that one unless he has Liliana and 4 Snapcast damages nonetheless. But we're gonna cut 1 Cremate here, 2 copies of Cremate. Most of the other stuff is fine. Jace is not as good here, I think. Usually Jace is really good in control mirrors, but with this opponent he actually might not be. I think I'm gonna bring in 1 Kalitas as well. This should be alright. We could have also brought in Spell Pierce, but with Spellstutter Sprite on the horizon, I think that might be too much of a stretch. Both because we cannot counter it, so the normal play here is creeping top it and then next turn keep a Bloodstained Mire, but we might want to, but I think he's gonna drop it anyway and therefore we're just gonna do that. Otherwise we would maybe try to pretend that we have a counterspell for Bitter Blossom. And there it comes. No, it's not coming. Interesting. I think if this goes to game 3, I'm gonna bring in Rebel Master. And if you were to play a Bitter Blossom here, then we would have to raise, because we both cannot get rid of an enchantment, which is kind of a bummer. Okay. So since we still have Ionize, to protect us from a potential Kalitas, I'm still gonna fetch here. For a Blood Crypt. Alright. Missing land drops, our opponent is. I also do not want to run. I don't actually think that he can counter the Jace if I were to play it, but he could also just be tricking us. If we had Logic Knot as a backup, then I would have done it, but not this way. Alright. Is there any way he can counter? I do not think so. The only matter I have here is a Jace that he just drops and bounces our Scorpion God. And therefore, I'm gonna bring this one in first. Do this. Have a look at what's going to happen. And then we're gonna pass the turn. Also don't want to drop the Scorpion God before he gets rid of that spell bomb. That is actually fine. Okay, interesting. Are we gonna slam it? No, we're not. Not yet, not yet. No, we are. No, we are. If it sticks, then he probably doesn't have a way to come back into this game. If it doesn't stick, then we do have a problem. Okay, Toxic Shore is probably saving our lives here. Well, Bitter Blossom isn't gonna do you any favors. Alright guys, we got it to stick. We have 2 spells of protection. I do not think that he can do anything about this. We'll just draw a card each turn now, because of Bitter Blossom here. And that is quite nice. There's Kalitas as well. Let's attack. Oh my goodness, Scorpion God. MVP. MVP. Brilliant. Even if we wouldn't kill our opponent with our Scorpion God next turn, we still had Creeping Torpid or to finish the job. Good games, opponent. Good games. Alright, going into round number 2 here. Cremate, as of now, has proven to be absolutely worthless. But yeah, I guess you'll have these matchups as well, even in an infested meta. But I don't think, like, you probably cannot play 4 in the main board, no matter what you do. And by the way, he did have the Jace in hand as well, so if he had to draw an untapped land source, the nightmare scenario that I was worrying about would have taken place. But we got a little lucky there. So I don't... Gemstone Caverns. Exile and some Spirit Guide. Uh-oh. So I just hope this is Thalia. And not Mono Red Prison. Alright, seems to be Thalia, Stompy, something. Key command, sure. Yep, that's gonna be a problem. So we first need to draw another land source. And then we need to kill Thalia, and then we kill the Chalice, and then we're probably good. Also, our opponent only does have, well, no, 3 lands. Well, we get caught by turn 1 Chalice. Come on. Good thing is our opponent does not know what we're playing exactly. So Cremate is definitely gonna go out again. Bringing this. Connor Skull also not really a good card here. This one's fully good. Rebel Master this. Could also bring in Spreading Seas. But Fulminator Mage. They're only running like a couple of lands and like maximum 20. Whew. If our opponent does have a turn 1 Chalice, we're basically dead in the water here. So we're gonna keep that, put that on top. Yeah, that's fine this time. So exactly what I feared to happen happened there. This is just not a whole lot of fun. Fucker. Yeah, don't actually mind that. Opponent's apparently already out of gas. We're sadly discarding a Kolaghan's Command here, so he knows what's up. Potentially. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be something. I don't even mind Thalia right now. Yeah. Spraying Seas could also be good enough, to be honest. Although need to keep all of our good stuff. Oh man. Caverns as well. Alright, so our opponent is really up to a really good start here. Probably the best that the deck's capable of. Could also just be going with Snapcaster Mage here. Because we have a couple of lands. Maybe we're gonna get rid of that Leonin Arbiter. It's not gonna flashback anything anytime soon anyway. So I guess that's the play. Well, that was definitely a mistake by our opponent. So, we need to shock here to get rid of, well, actually Ghost Quarter. More important than Caverns right now. Although we're taking 5 a turn. Okay, recipe's fine. So now we can get rid of Thalia. And then we still have Nimble. Okay. Give it to me, baby, nice and slow. Alright, now's our time. So I think honestly, I'm just gonna counter this. We're gonna take 2, he's tapped out, this is gonna die. We're gonna draw a card. Because we need some sort of haymaker here. We're just gonna play another one. So we have something on the battlefield. If he wants to trade off here, I'm actually not unwilling to do it. Because land-wise we don't have a whole lot to lose. Yeah. See, and this is a way more important target for us. Alright. What's going on here? Okay, bottom, top. I think we're gonna escalate 2 modes here. just because I don't want to straight up die to a reality smasher. So next turn we have lethal, holding up. Removal here. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, good games. And we're basically playing with one hand tied behind our backs. Because cremate's just so bad if you're not facing any graveyard decks. Realm Master is also not really where we want to be. Scorpion God, as always, just a really good card. Jabberwocky. That is a keep. I'm gonna fetch for Warrior Grave here. Of course, we could be running into. So we don't know what we're up against yet. I'm gonna keep the Tarpit on top anyway. And if we're playing against control, then I want to have the other fetch land as well. If we're not playing against control, then I'm just gonna fetch it away. Also, if he's like on Grixis, Death Shadow, or some sort of Thought Scour build, he might be inclined to. Never mind. So I assume our opponent does have a counter spell here, otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. A removal spell, of course. Otherwise that doesn't make any sense. Sure. Alright. Now it all comes down to something that is so black-green rock here actually is a little bit problematic because we don't pack as much value than we normally do, So from the sideboard we have to rely on Countertest and Scorpion God again. Could also be bringing in Spreading Seas, Fulminator Mage anyway, but So I actually want to have both of these. Put on top, do this, draw cards, put on top, put on bottom. And now we're just gonna hope that he's not gonna play something that we need to counter. Perfect. Optimal. Alright, now I do think we can win the game. I'm not saying that we are, but cryptic and double counter magic here, a couple of removal spells. He's obviously just waiting for an opportunity. To protect his cards with a discard spell. Also good. Also really good. I think I actually want to Serum Visions here to set up our next rolls. Yes, and yes. The only thing that I'm going to counter here is either Liliana or Talus Tracker. The other stuff is not as important to me. Opponent's not doing anything anymore. So what do I want to have? We could be going for Snapcaster Mage, of course. That would be the obvious pick. There's also a scenario where I want to have Nibble because of Field of Ruin. But I think we're a little light on removal. That one Terminate will not guarantee anything deeper in the game. Therefore, we're just going to go with Snapcaster Mage and then just loot them if our opponent continues to do nothing. Also, again, not an exceptionally good game for our crewmate. But what can you do, right? At worst, it's just a cantrip. Some worse version of opt. So opponent opts to not play anymore. No, there he goes. Not bad, opponent, not bad. I think that's fine as well because we're gonna go Snapcaster this thing. Whoops. Hello. Okay. So our opponent's definitely gonna bring in the Graveyard Hate. Therefore, we need to be a little bit careful. Rock. Yeah, there's just nothing that we can use Cremate against. So we're gonna take 2 Cremates out. I think Collective Brutality in because we need to kill Dark Confident turn 2 should it drop. Then there's Fulminator Mage as well, although I don't really like Fulminator Mage on our side. On his side it's really good, but on our side it's really not good. And then we can go with 2 Kalitas, I think. Potentially at least 1 Spell Pierce. 2 Spell Pierces. The main objective here is to somehow get to 5 lands and find the Scorpion God. If we do not manage to do so, we should just assume that we don't. Nope. Slightly better. Don't know why the Scorpion God shows up in our opening 7 all of the time. So Nimble Obstruction is slightly better. Now let's keep it on top just because. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Damn it. Yeah, shit. We could have had a pretty good start here into the game. Not playing land really. Fuck. Is a problem. Because if he's playing Dark Confident now, we're basically dead. Yeah. Great. Shit. Tarmogoyf. There we go with the Fulminator Mage. That was a surprise. Not. Alright, so now we destroy and kill so that we at least get back on parity here. Didn't even max out our graveyard, which is fine with me. Now we only need to get to that Scorpion God dude. That was really unfortunate. Otherwise, we really had. Fuck this shit! Moto, fuck it. Well, we can activate it 2 times, so Nimble is not really gonna help us here. I'm gonna counter it. Want to have removal spell. Okay, that can buy us a turn and bounce that Tireless Tracker. Scorpion God can potentially. Take it from there. Of course, it's pretty risky, but this really has developed quite poorly. Okay. So I think, well, not exactly. Yeah, you must have additional Lilianas in order to follow this up. But Collective Brutality can still kill the Tireless Tracker. The only question here is, do we really need to kill that Liliana? We discard Collective Brutality, kill Tireless Tracker, play Scorpion God, best case scenario. Alright, that is over. So this time we're on the play. And we know about it. We could also just be bringing in Spring Seas. Do not know and how far, like... Spring Seas or Consquall. Or both. Just cut Brutality. And do it this way. So let's see what happens here. We have a good turn to play either way. Also have a lot of removal. So if he drops a Fulminator Mage right now, that's not a deal. Discard a Treetop Village. We cannot stop Liliana from happening anyway, therefore we're going with Jace here first. Let's see what's going to happen. Scoos. Alright. Yeah, maybe we should have enchanted one of our lands, but I did want to have a basic land here, just so if he comes around with the Fulminator Mage, it does not blow us up completely. All right. So obviously, fuck. This is going to be problematic. But by this happening this way, we probably have the chance of spell piercing something after all. One Thalia tracker. Fuck. And the Gov as well. Let's see where we get this. If we were to draw a blue source, we probably can. We're gonna double block. With 9 toughness combined, we cannot pump the Thalia tracker anymore. I honestly think if he attacks with both, we're just gonna block the Tormgoyf. Or are we? If we block Thalia tracker here with both. He could have a fail push, of course, but why would he wait for fail push to take place. So let's double block here. Hope for the best. Yeah, you need to kill the Kalitas. Okay. That was actually somewhat alright. I think we have lethal here. But if he activates the tar pit, the treetop village, then we do not die on the swing back. Lol. Well, close game, close game. Whew. Off to round number 4, and we're 3-0. Again, by the way, Scorpion God, just tremendous. Kalitas was quite good as well. Not gonna lie. Because like if he had activated the treetop village there, I would have activated Scorpion God to put a counter on it, then killed it with a, well, with nothing actually, just kept up the 2 lightning bolts, and then we would have still had lethal on the next turn, plus drawing at least 1 additional card. This hand is pretty slow on the draw. Well, let's see. Again, someone with a target. Okay. I'm so scared during the first turn now to just skip it. That makes our hand significantly better. Oh, this appears to be Band's Nexus Wilderness Reclamation, I think. They are playing tar pits as well. We do have Field of Ruin to stop the Wilderness Reclamation, of course. To stop the Wilderness Reclamation, we do have Counter Squall and Field of Ruin to stop the Creeping Top. Now it also makes sense. Growth Spiral. Such a good card. So our opponent might be just cryptic commanding here to bounce a land and then deploy Wilderness Reclamation. The problem is that, okay. So here, let's have a look again. I think they're only playing one Nexus of Fate, or maybe two, and here the Cremate could actually be pretty good. What's Gift Control, I think, right? 4-color Gift, is that that? No, that's not the deck I was looking for. Teaching Control, that's it. Sultai Reclamation. So let's see. 4 cryptic commands, 3 teachings. Yeah, here it's gonna be pretty alright. So we're probably not gonna play Cremate here yet. Alright, that resolves, and then where we're gonna play this, Cremate, draw a card. Problem is that we do not have Countersquall up right now, but since he played so passively up until now, I just hope that he is scared of a counterspell. Yeah, very good. So we definitely need double black here at some point, and therefore I'm gonna go with the Tar Pit. And during his end step, if we get there, we're gonna kill that Snapcaster Mage. Probably with a Terminate though. He's not having any land drops here, which cannot be what he wants. Could of course also bounce this. So yeah, going with black here over blue, because we just have so many black dependent spells. Nimble is also not a bad card. Okay. What did he discard? Did I deal damage to him? Oh my goodness. That was not my intention. Just a misclick then. All right, top. All right, so we drew a land again. Could have countered this. Cremate doing its thing. Actually pretty good here. Like there's no other card that gives us that same amount of value because we basically got a 3-for-1 for our 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they do have remands as well. Three remands. Alright, so now I think we're pretty good. Pretty good shape here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah, we can kill this. Still have Cryptic and Counter Squall up. So we're gonna turn up the heat here. Turn up the heat. Rumble in. I'm not gonna lie, Nexus of Fate is a pretty cool card. I'm glad that they still print stuff like that, because also I really want to say I hate Best of One. Like watching the PAX Invitational was just horrific. The worst. Duo Standard is just the worst format ever. Well, let's see. I don't think like this decision and then the decision with so now he has Cryptic backup, so I guess he's playing it now. So that also means that he does not have a remand, I guess. Yeah. We do have lethal here. All right, cool. We do want to have Spell Pierce because it's definitely going to come down to Counter Wars. I do want to have this. Probably also do want to have this. Cremate is pretty good. Terminate is pretty not good. Nimble is also still pretty fine. We could be going with Collective Brutality in theory, but I think that maybe Surgical Extraction is actually better here. Let's have a look again. So what could they be bringing in? Dispel, nothing else. Let's try this. Our opponent's mulligans. I think I'm gonna be pretty aggressive with countering growth spirals, because not only do they draw him a card, they also prevent us from using our spell pierces and fulminator mages effectively. So you put a card to the top, I assume. Put a card to the bottom. Interesting. Didn't fetch. So this might be Search for Skanta. Growth Spiral. Well, I'm not gonna let that happen. I also don't think... Is there anything interesting? No, I don't think there's anything worthwhile. On 2 mana, we also already found another counterspell, therefore that's pretty alright. 25 lands. That's quite a lot. So we're basically waiting till the turn where we can go. Is he drawing straight up lands here, or... So next turn we have Spell Pierce and Logic Knot. They are not playing any Planeswalkers. Therefore, I think I'm just gonna go bold here. One turn too late to the party nimble. Give it some good. Yes, this is a fine Snapcaster target. Oh, Spell Pierce. Dispel. Is he just protecting it to... With 5, 6 mana next turn, how important is Gifts Ungiven? I do not know. Could just be a value play here, but I'm not gonna take the risk. Wilderness Reclamation itself, without any sufficient backup, also doesn't do anything. Now we do have a Cremate as well, which is pretty neat. If we had the Cremate in the last turn already, of course, I wouldn't have gone after that gifts. But as it stands, it's pretty alright. Sure. So his pickup with Mystical Teachings is Illumination, which is really weird because that's so I'm gonna play Jace here and see if that's gonna trigger anything. It is not. Yeah, drop the cards, it's fine. Let's see. So he typically, I mean, either he kills the Jace here or he has to counter that Lightning Bolt. Alright, counterbalance, I guess, which is fine with me. So he did not play land here. Okay. Main phase Mystical Teachings. What could that be? I mean, should be a removal spell, right? Pulse of Murasa. Okay. Let's see how many. Do you have another dispel? Nope. Good games. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, we're jumping into the last round here, having a sweet 4-0, as we do most of the time. And then something goes horribly wrong in the last round. So, mostly you hear me, complaining about stuff in Modern with Fatal Suiting and maybe not Nature's Claim, Ancient Stirrings for the most part, and also now like the Best of One and Duo Standard. But I think like Wizards is actually making a lot of right decisions, and we're headed into a really good future. But like the Duo Standard to make it more esporty and viewable, and on the other hand to dumb down the game, and also with the mulligan rule and stuff, just to make it easier for newer players. I don't think that's the right way and the right decision, because if you want to have it easy, you can go to Hearthstone or whatever. Magic has and always will be beloved for its complexity and the many options you have to play the game. And of course, sometimes it's feel bad to have a non-game because of mulligan decisions. But just increase the symmetrical scries or whatever. But the London Mulligan Modern, or as I already said before, just introduce the new Mulligan rule to Standard and Limited, because there it might make sense. But the London Mulligan is going to be a shit show in Modern. And yeah. But other than that, like, except for that and Faithless Looting, I think we're pretty good. To also voice my positive feelings from time to time. So apparently there's no opponent here who wants to hustle with us. And regards to cremates, one really has to say, when it's good, it's really good, and it's never really bad. Like getting in mystical teachings or countering a Snapcaster Mage for just 1 mana and also drawing a card is just really, really good. Also, it protects our Nimble a little bit, because in a couple of situations last game, I would have otherwise used the Nimble to counter a Snapcaster Mage, for instance. Well, potentially. But that would not have allowed us to also keep up counter magic. And therefore, that was pretty neat. Yeah, we're gonna keep and hope that our opponent's on some prison game. Yeah, so I guess opponent is playing red prison, and since we cannot really do anything right now against it, and we do also have a couple of basics in our hand already, the Blood Moon would still cripple us quite significantly, especially with Logic Knots, and if you can get rid of. Okay, Suppression Field. This looks not like Red Prison, this rather looks like Enduring Ideal. And activated abilities, I think that also includes cards on our hand. Therefore, what the fuck's going on here? How many colors is our opponent playing here? So if we're not being hit with anything outstanding here, I think we're in an okay shape. We will need to use Nimble as our air force. But that's the great thing about the card, it's just so immensely flexible. And I think it's greatly underplayed in Modern, although against the most looting decks it's just not good. But generally speaking, very good card in Modern. So opponent's apparently having a toughie here. Put it to the bottom. Shadows on one. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I love me some prison. Post board, spell pierce, spreading sea might be coming in if we don't have a whole lot else to do. Phyrexian on life. I do believe that we need to counter this actually, and hope that he does not have a Simian Spirit Guide. Because he's playing the combo, the wombo combo in here as well, with Phyrexian on life and the one that, you know, stops you from getting counters into the game. Well, Chalice on 2 is actually not too horrible for us, but I think I'm still going to counter it. Just because of Snapcaster Mage and a couple of counter spells. The beginning of your upkeep, alright. So we don't have logic nodes to grab for anyway. I'm gonna do this. You may search a library for a curse card that doesn't have the same name as curse attached. Does not sound like it would be great for us, but this should be a triggered ability. Mastermind's Acquisition. Okay. Let's see what kind of curse card he has in store. It's a triggered ability. We could counter it in theory, but I think cycling would still be okay. See if we just lose here straight up. Well, that is not as good as I expected for an 8 mana enchantment. So we could activate Jace here as well, but I think I'm gonna rather go with Lodging Knots, counter the thing again. And then attack him with our 1/1s. Well, actually, yeah, lost all abilities. That wasn't too good. Not only activated abilities, also triggered abilities. All right then. So Scalding Torrent is also not a thing. So we're gonna go to this one first. So this is still gonna be a hustle here. So we cannot play the Splendor thing. And in retrospect, oh my goodness, does he have more than one copy in his deck of this card? What the actual fuck? Alright then. It's gonna be just 1/1s. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, sure. Forgot about it again. That is a hard lock. So we'll just figure out here how many curses he does have and which one. Because right now it doesn't really look very good. No legal target, yeah, I don't care. Okay, so that's it. That's his combo. And he has Phyrexian Unlife and the other thing as well, but that's not a curse. So I guess now he needs to find a win condition. Otherwise our Jace is gonna win the game at some point. Oh my goodness. Alright, that's good to know. That is indeed good to know. Now we're off the we beat you with creatures plan, mate. Fuck sake. One to three, 1/3. Should have a lot of redundancy, and I still haven't seen a win condition. I assume that he does have a lot of ley lines in petto as well. Actually, what now? So if we bounce this 1/3, Snapcaster Mage is a thing again, and we can actually fetch. So we can set up from there. So we're going to skip one turn, kill the Spirit Guide, bounce the thing. What an atrocious last round here. But anyhow, we're not beat yet. Also, we know that he's, of course, playing fast mana. Phyrexian Unlife again. Well, as I said, we're not winning this through typical means, so I'm gonna let that resolve and return this draw card. This one, I mean. So now we need to pay 4 for this. Oh, it's gonna be really slow. But I think mana is key here, and therefore I want to free our fetches. Because we need to pay for Jace, we need to have counter magic up. Currently cannot play anything, which of course is a pretty good thing. Ooh. Oh, we have to be careful here. I don't want him to time us out. We're not drawing the right half of our deck here. Funny that it excludes Planeswalker abilities and that we actually might be able to. Is that Enduring Ideal? Did he finally draw a win condition here? Sure. Also great, interesting. So he's scared of our Jays as well. We need some counter spells and Snapcaster Mages because that's actually active again. Alright, there's a counter spell. Therefore, just gonna play a Jace here. Have counter magic up. If he doesn't do anything, then we can still fetch. And right now we're also getting close to just having lethal through lightning bolts again. So what I'm going to do here end of turn is lightning bolt him. We have 9 in hand, 12 here, 14. And if we flip Jace, that's lethal. Okay, now he's at least taking a lot of time here. Which is good in the sense that if this comes to a timeout, I'm just gonna blah blah blah. Nope, not gonna happen. So there's this, and this. Island. Counter. Yeah, we have lethal. Now we only need to stretch it. Oh no, he has Reaction on life, so we also need to cryptic that one away. But we can do that in the end. I'll be right back, just a second. Alright, sorry. So he's configurating us here, killing both of our Jaces. So that's how much he fears it, but all the other cards are gone now, and we're free to roam. Yeah, don't need to do that. That was another Phyrexian on life. He should have a hell lot of dead cards. And we just need to find a Snapcaster Mage, or he just drew a really good card. 1, 3, 6. For 3. Okay. So we managed to solve the land situation. Now we're just gonna go and wait for a Snapcaster Mage to show up, and then we're gonna kill him. Some bolts. I don't think there are any more triggers here. He's not using any fetch lands, so I'm just gonna cycle the Nimble as well. Cannot play it anyway. Cycle. Great. Into another Nimble. This one cremates. Phyrexian on life. Just cremate, please. Okay. Cremates. Juke. Okay, top. Can we attack here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can. Well, four. Come on. That's not gonna help you. So I guess what we're gonna do now is wait for his turn, bounce Phyrexian on life. Counter this. He's down to 2. Return. Draw a card. What a game. Cost us quite some time. So cremate's just horrible here. Well, it's still not horrible, but just really bad. I think I'm gonna bring in the Goblin Rebel Master. That one's also alright. Yeah, this should be what we No. A whole sloth of interaction here. And our opponent's actually up to deliver some win conditions, because I haven't seen any yet. Maybe he's just boring his opponents to death. Maybe Conflagrate is its win condition. Although that would also be strange, because then he would need something that also generates mana. Well, there's Nyktos, of course. That could fill that role. And then I guess it's pretty easy to conflagrate for 20, 10. Also, this very matchup is the reason you cannot play Grixis without cryptic commands. Because you're just fucked otherwise. It's not a perfect hand, but I'm willing to keep it on the draw. Because Spreading Seas gives us decent options here to stifle him a little bit. So I guess white is what we want to go after. So now the question is, can our opponent handle this and also stop us? Okay, tap land. It's not gonna help him a whole lot. Yeah, I think this could be quite fast. So in the end, even Goblin Rebel Master was a good pickup there. Yeah, so I guess this is just cranial extraction. Okay. So apparently I need to Curse. All right. Whoa, no, I don't want to concede the match. All right. Good games, guys. 5-0. Good games. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. And if you want to support me or the channel, please consider donating and have a great week, guys.